There's a saying we all grew up with: respect your elders. It sounds good, clean, solid, like something you'd find carved into an old wooden sign hanging in your grandma's kitchen. And once upon a time, it meant something. Because being old used to mean something. It meant you survived. You endured. You lived through the famine, the war, the winter, the plague. You didn't just see history, you helped carry it forward. You were the living memory of your people, the guide through unfamiliar storms, the teacher with calloused hands and a long view of consequences. You were valuable, not just because of sentiment, but because of necessity. Back then, age was rare. It was earned, and if you lived long enough to be called an elder, chances were you had something to teach. Wisdom wasn't a title, it was your currency, and old age was the receipt. But today, we're drowning in age. Medicine, infrastructure, wealth. We've extended the human lifespan to the point where longevity is expected. It's no longer a reward, it's the default setting. Now, being old doesn't mean you have insight. It means you had insurance. You don't have to grow to get old anymore. You just have to wait. And still, we're told to respect our elders, even when they've earned nothing but distance, even when they've clung to ignorance, rejected reflection, and passed down nothing but bitterness and bad habits. In this new world, age doesn't infer wisdom, it infers status. It grants power, deference, and protection, not because of what someone offers, but because we've been taught that time alone deserves reverence. And that's the flaw. Because when respect becomes automatic, unworthy elders survive. The loudest voices aren't the wisest. They're just the ones who lived long enough to shout without interruption. We've all met them, the ones who weaponize their age, the ones who confuse seniority with sanctity, the ones who expect obedience but offer no value in return. And maybe the harshest truth is this: there was a time when the elders were the first you protect, not out of sentiment, but survival. They were the map makers, the ones who knew what to do when the river rose or the food ran out. The ones who remembered why the last war started and how it ended. To lose them was to lose your advantage, your future, your edge. But today, when the world shakes, when something forces you to choose, your instinct is different. You glance at the children, at the young friends still chasing dreams, at the builder with the dirt under their fingernails. Then you glance at someone older, someone who's lived their life, who no longer grows but simply continues, and something inside you shifts. Not out of cruelty, not even out of choice, just a quiet recognition the order of priority has changed. That's the real loss. Not just that elders are no longer sacred, but that their absence no longer threatens us. They no longer have any answers to hard questions. We don't cling to them like we used to. Because somewhere deep down, we stopped asking, how could we live without them? And started thinking, they've had their time. They have done what they've come here to do. And that doesn't make us cruel. It makes us aware, because being old isn't enough anymore. It used to be. It used to be the greatest strength a community could have. A walking archive, a wise presence, a quiet reminder of what we've been through and what we should never do again. But we've lost that. The internet replaced the oral tradition. The retirement home replaced the tribal circle. The respect we once gave to wisdom, we now give to age out of guilt, or habit, or fear of being called disrespectful. But the real tragedy isn't that we don't listen to the old. It's that there's so little worth listening to. This isn't a takedown. It's a eulogy. I'm not condemning elders. I'm mourning them. Not the people, but the role they once played. This video isn't about tearing down old people. It's about what it used to mean to be one. I don't want fewer elders. I want fewer useless ones. I want elders worth sitting next to, worth learning from, worth following. So maybe we can stop saying respect your elders, because we've lost something. Not a person, but a role. The guide, the watcher, the patient voice in the storm. What we call elder now often just means older. We still need elders, but only the kind who grew, not the ones who hoarded time, but those who gave it meaning. Because age without growth isn't wisdom, it's just rust.